Hello everyone, good morning. Good Thursday morning to you. Checking in with you, wearing a continuous line, surrounded by continuous line, drinking coffee from a coffee cup. I didn't know where to go with that. Remember the days of coffee cups? So much fun, right? I'll never give up drinking coffee cups, drinking from, or drawing them, right? I just haven't had much time to do it, but I'm checking in with you today because first of all, I haven't in a while, and I made an announcement this week that I'm gonna be ending the Zoom sketch sessions, and so when that happens at the end of April, I'm gonna be able to put a little bit more attention into this continuous line group because I love the continuous line, right? I love the Zoom sketch sessions, but I've been doing it for 2 years, and so it's time to transition into something else, right? And so I'm very curious to see where the whole continuous line thing can go for me personally, for me as an instructor, for me as the people I meet, the stories I can tell, and the stories that I'm seeing others can tell, right? So in the past, this had sort of a subject. You know, the first month was coffee cups, and then it went to, I don't even remember, chickens? No, hearts. And now we're in chickens. And I have totally forgotten about the chicken thing, right? Because the focus for me is continuous line. And that's what I want to use this group for, as a focus of continuous line storytelling. So I'm going to be just sharing a little bit more how I do it. It's not the way to do it. It's the way I do it. And I hope to learn more. I always love to learn from others. And I always love just to expand my horizons, right? So today, what I'm going to do right now is do the drawing warm-ups that I do to help strengthen the continuous line, right? Because it's a muscle just like anything else that you have to practice. If you want to be a good yoga instructor, you have to practice yoga. If you want to be whatever it is, fill in the blank, you have to practice, right? And so in the Zoom sketch sessions, I developed sort of a way of warming up that kind of was more or less continuous line, only because it helped people push through and continue to draw, right? This is not like, oh, this is the way you have to draw. This is your style, and join me, it's my style, and everyone's style is going to be continuous line. No, it's literally a vitamin. It's literally a supplement to your drawing practice to help strengthen your lines. Hey, look at that. She's wearing lines. She's surrounded by lines. All right, let's see if I can get this lined up, and we'll do some drawing. Oh, look, the sun's coming in. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. I don't want my computer to fall off the desk. Okay, so look at that. That's kind of fun. It's a fun cast shadow from my arm, my tripod. What is this? Camera holder. Okay, so we're going to just jump right into it. I'm doing these with a Sharpie, but normally I would do the warm-ups with my Bic pen just because, is it cheaper? Maybe, but I go through a lot of this, right? And I like my Sharpies to stay fresh with a point. And I go through them pretty quickly, so I don't necessarily use them for warm-ups, right? But for visibility on the camera, that's what I do. Oh, I kind of had it taped down, but it just jumped off the tape. All right, so I'm just, well, let me hit this a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't find my Scotch tape for the life of me. Okay. So there's no right or wrong way of doing this. This is literally just making lines on the page and getting into sort of a rhythm with it. And my lines have gotten straighter, just and more. The word I use is tidy, just because I practice them a lot, right? Now, that doesn't mean they're perfect. I don't want perfect lines. I don't advocate for perfect lines. I don't advocate for perfect drawings. I don't advocate for perfect artists, right? We're all a work in progress. And whatever work I'm doing today, it's going to look very different. Well, I don't know about tomorrow, but in a year, right? We're all a work in progress, right? And before the pandemic thing, you know that thing, I never did drawing warm-ups. I never did thumbnails. I didn't give a lot of credence. Is that the word? To drawing warm-ups. I figured, hey, I'm drawing. Why do I need to warm up? I'm already drawing. What's this? What's up with that? I don't have time for this. I gotta go. I gotta go. Come on, we all gotta go. Right? That was sort of my attitude before the world stopped and I had to sit in my house for 2 years like the rest of us, right? And in that time, because I began teaching on Zoom, I had to find ways to teach as opposed to just be like, hey, let's just draw, right? Let's just draw. No, there had to be a little warm-up, right? So that's how these warm-ups were born. And it tends to be, I tend to think that this is I don't have any scientific proof, right? I'm not a drawing doctor. But I do believe, just because of my own personal experience, that this is one of the greatest ways to increase my drawing skill. I'll speak only for myself. Having incorporated these sorts of exercises into my artistic repertoire, it has completely strengthened it is strengthening my eye-hand coordination, right? That message of where my brain says, hey, draw that flower for me, please. And my hand goes, no problem. And a flower is drawn to, basically how I kind of saw it in my mind's eye, right? Now, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect, right? But the idea of like wanting to draw a building or a chicken or your coffee, when you first start, people are like, oh, I can't draw to save my life. Oh, I can't draw a straight line. I don't know how you do that. I could never do that. Well, you know what? All things are possible with practice and dedication and love, right? I decided early on I love drawing. I don't know why. It's just something in me I had to do. And I went a lot of years not doing it. And then it was really after my mom died, I was like, I couldn't not do it anymore. I had to, the jig was up. I had to do the things that were important to me, right? And sometimes that's how we stumble into our passions or are jolted into our real selves, right? Like something happens, right? To cause a shakeup. And for me, it was, around the time or after my mom died, and I just started drawing. I was like, I gotta draw. And with that, I drew. I drew. And here it is, 7 years later, and I'm just starting to do warm-ups. Well, not just, it's been the bunker years, right? So it's been like 2 years now of doing drawing practices, right? And I still don't draw precisely. I draw buildings out on the street, and they're wonky, and I love it. Love, right? But here, we're going to finish big with a heart, as I do. Because I was running out of room there, right? So isn't that pretty? Look at those pretty lines vibrating. They're alive with energy, right? I love it. Yeah, we're just going to go right over it because I don't want to waste time setting things up here. So maybe you can see it a little bit, but that's all right. Oh, come on, tape. Actually, just because this tape's giving me such a hard time. I am going to get this out of here. Go on now. Get out of here. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Can you see this? Yeah. Let me have a sip of coffee. It's early. It's early. I got to go get a teeth surgically, a teeth. I have to go get some dental surgery after this, so that's why I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to look like later today. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but, you know, there could be a puffy chipmunk cheek. And so that's why I thought, well, I'm going to do this before I go. Check in with my crew, my continuous line crew. I am loving what I'm seeing. Some of them, I don't even know what they are. And I mean that, I don't mean that disrespectfully. Like I'm seeing some different mediums being used, and that's totally great, right? And a continuous line drawing, it doesn't have to be black and white, right? Like when I do my continuous line urban sketching, I do the thing, whatever the thing is, and when I'm done, I know it. I feel it in my head, I feel it in my hand, I feel it in my heart. Done! And then I go to my watercolors, right? That's a whole different kind of fun. I'm trying, I was sort of I didn't like watercolors. It was too, and it was probably just because I didn't know how to control it, right? I didn't like it. I used it more like crayons to color things in. So it took me a few years to kind of warm up to watercolor. But now I'm having fun with that too. Always use more water than you think. Don't keep your brush so dry. That's my sermon, my watercolor sermon. Always use more water, right? Make it juicy. Keep it juicy and fun and energetic. Don't worry about coloring in between the lines. Especially if doing continuous line, you've already worked hard on your lines. Those lines will stay. Do the thing you got to do afterwards then, whatever that is. And maybe you do work with crayons. I'm not, this is not all about watercolor. That just happens to be what I like to do. I like the fountain pens. I like ink. But I also like playing around with direct watercolor, which mixes things up because there's no lines. Oh my God, no lines. I still do my drawing practices, my line warm-ups, though, even when I'm doing direct watercolor collision, totally fine. That usually happens when I'm in the largest part of the real estate here, just because there's a lot of terrain to cover. That's all right. Collisions are, they add character to your lines, right? And like when I stop, here, I'm going to stop and have a sip of coffee. Yeah, stop and scratch your shoulder, whatever it is, you can stop, and you can pick up the pen too. The continuous line police are not going to come arrest you if you if you pick up your pen. It's totally like, if I'm drawing a building or whatever and I get it done and then I want to draw, then I see there's a stop sign or whatever, a dog sitting in front of me. I sometimes don't see it when I'm drawing the thing that I'm drawing, and then I'll stop, pick up my pen, and go, oh, I want to put this in too, and we'll start another continuous line, right? So I'm not making the rules here. I'm not making any rules except that. Well, I suppose there's some guidelines, right? This is a continuous line group, so I ask that the things that you share are continuous line art, your own, not someone else's. I'd like to refrain from posting silly things that we see all over Facebook, right? We're going to keep this, and I'm not seeing anything silly posted, right? It's all pretty much pertaining to continuous line. I think we're all inundated with the memes and the jokes and the scary news, right? So this group is literally your continuous line drawings in whatever medium you choose to use. I went for years never using Sharpies. I don't know why. I think something about in the urban sketching world, I got the gist that they were bad, just like pencils and erasers, right? Well, I don't adhere to that negativity anymore. And I love Sharpies and I love pencils, right? I love all ways of making art. I love Procreate, digital stuff, right? Why limit yourself, right? But I swear to God, by doing continuous line stuff, you strengthen your abilities across the board. I like to take a moment, just take it all in. Look at those beautiful lines. Vibrating, buzzing, right? Life. Why do we want straight, dry lines? I don't like straight, dry lines. I like vibration. Good vibes, man. That's what it's all about. Especially, look at what's going on out in the world. Do whatever you can to keep the good vibes, right? I'm not like all kumbaya, but I am a little bit, right? Because I don't know what I have left, how much time I have left in this world, and whatever I have left, I want to use it to do good. I want to be a voice of positivity, a voice of art, a voice of community, and you know, I think I used to think, oh, well, who cares about art? Art doesn't really, you know. I guess I sort of discounted my participation with art and that it really didn't matter. This is going back, right? Back in the early days where it doesn't matter. I can't make a difference. No one person can make a difference. Well, that's not true, right? We can all make a difference. And first and foremost, just do your best to be positive, right? There's my other sermon. So we've got some lines, some corners, diagonals, and now we're going to go. Everyone loves the spirals. And once you get into them, like right about here, I could just keep going. Wah! Oh, but see, it totally kills my Sharpie. My Sharpie's already dry. It was a new Sharpie. I just took it out of the box. Well, I took it out of the box last night, and I did some drawing warm-ups with it then, so it's not like it just died right now. Anyways, that's why I have millions of Sharpies, because they do dry out just like any other pen does, right? So the spirals are fun just because, well, they're good, right? Like I'm not being tidy about them. I could be. Actually, I find it easier to be tidier with spirals with a big pen. There, I got a little tidy on this one. And it gets harder as you get bigger because your hand has to cover more real estate. And if you're not resting it on anything, it's without a kickstand, as I call it, it's hard. It's challenging. See, look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that? Love it. There's a rose, a moon, tunnel. So, you know, if you like tell yourself, okay, now I'm going to go draw, and then you go draw. But if you are in the habit of like maybe you're on the phone or maybe you're watching TV or something, do these little doodle warm-ups because they will strengthen when you go to draw time. Your drawing will be stronger. You'll be a stronger line maker, which will help you because it's all about having a strong eye-hand coordination, and by doing line exercises that strengthen it, it will overlap into everything, right? Digital art, direct watercolors, because direct watercolor is literally drawing with a brush, right? And if you're able to draw, I'm telling you, knowing how to draw can save your life. In fact, that's my bio in Instagram. Knowing how to draw can save your life. It saved my life. It totally did. It saved my life, and that's why I like to share. I like to build community around drawing because it can save our lives, right? I mean, especially in these past 2 years where we've had to stay home a lot. I don't care what your opinion or where you're at or what your government, whatever. Doesn't even matter. We've all had to be at home a lot more and find ways to not go insane, right? Drawing is an amazing way. You can still go insane and know how to draw, but if you practice it, it's like a meditation, right? Like there's plenty of artists who are insane, right? I don't even need to go into that. But for me, it has saved my sanity, which is why I'm so adamant about sharing it with others. It has saved my sanity. And look how cute this looks, right? So simple. And like, I want wallpaper like this. I don't want this to end because that means I have to go to the dentist. No, don't end. But that's all right. My dentist, who I love, he's like, come on, Megan, let's get you some celebrity teeth. You're gonna be famous. He's a big fan of my work, and I'm a fan of his work, so it's a beautiful thing. There we go. Look at the vibration there. Let me have a sip of coffee. That's some good vibes right there, and I like how this one's kind of big and crazy, and that one's kind of controlled, right? And they're just beautiful, right? Is this thing still on? Yes! Alrighty, let's take it back here. Hi, everybody. Buenos dias. Hi, guys. You know, I like that. You know, I don't expect anyone to chime in just because I'm on the live stream, but I like that I'll post it and then people can watch it whenever, right? And I'll probably put this on YouTube. I'm going to be doing more on YouTube. I need to get 1,000 subscribers, though, so I can do live streams. Isn't that ridiculous? You need 1,000 subscribers. I have 103. So if 900 of you could get together and subscribe to me on YouTube, I'd appreciate it because I'd like to do some live streams over there. 1,000. 1,000. Anyways, so keep going with that continuous line. I love to see the stories that you're telling, whether it's your flowers, your coffee, your dog, someone on TV, a building, whatever. The sky's the limit. The sky, right? It's just this group here is continuous lining, and I am excited to see how we can just blow this stuff up, right? Oh, that's not a good choice of words. Go deep into it, right? Deep into continuous line. So then when you go do art in other ways, shapes, or forms, you're just a stronger line maker. And you set out to draw something like, I'm going to draw that cat. Boom. You draw that cat. Boom. I'm here for the boom. All right. Good day. I'm going to get my teeth yanked. I'll see you all later. Bye.